Coleman. In the semifinals, he ran 6.42 seconds. That's just 3/100ths of a second off the world record. And he was letting up at the end like we've seen him do in so many races already this year.
The numbers in practice was indicating that he was ready to do something very special. The kid was fast. I have this little routine when I'm timing him, and it's something off the chart. I just throw my watch. So I busted up a lot of stopwatches, to say the least.
Main 3, watch your right hand. 2, watch your left hand.
Every single time you step on the track, just try to come out with a win. And so when you start piling up wins, when you start, realizing that no matter what the competition is, no matter what the level or platform or significance of the meet, I'm trying to win and I'm trying to dominate. And so that was just my mindset going into the championships.
Albuquerque is at altitude, and I figured with that plus him doing what he does anyway, plus the way he's always performed in big moments, I thought he was going to break the record.
Not pulling away as he has in the past, but at the clock, 6:34, a new world record for Christian Coleman.
He did it! He did it, and records don't fall every day. In fact, we know that because this record has stood.
Going to Clemson, it was just kind of like a rust buster. I mean, it was early January. After the prelims, I kind of shut it down a little bit before the finish line. And I think I ran like 6:46 or 6:45 or something like that. And I mean, I kind of shocked myself a little bit. I mean, going into the final, I was just like, let's see how fast I can go.
All I can remember is saying to myself, wow, did that really happen? Did that just happen? And, the crowd went crazy.
So I look up at the clock, and I just kind of glanced at it when they flashed, and it said, 6:37. And I started thinking, dang, I think that might be a world record.
There was no doubt that he could do that with a sensor on the block, because, like I said, the training, the numbers were indicating that he was ready to do something special. Disappointed, yeah, more for him, because once he puts his mind to doing something, he does it. That was one of the short-term goals that he had for that meet, and not to be honored with that I was more disappointed with that than I was about IAAF rules or things of that nature.
If you thought logically about it, you would say to yourself, first meet of the year, against a relatively non-competitive field, what could he do when he gets on a stage where it's world-class guys? To me, that should have been the thought process. But there was a lot of noise out there. That's a one-off, and it's not ratified, so it doesn't count anyway.
Well, at that point, I knew it was time to put the Ferrari back in the garage and fine-tune it and let him rest, because once you conquer something like that, it's very important that you allow resynthesis to happen, meaning like he's got to sit down, rest, recharge, focus on strength levels and things of that nature to be ready to run fast at Albuquerque.
Christian Coleman.
I remember doing the warm-up leading into the final. He said he started feeling something. It was like in his hamstring. He was feeling something. I said, man, that's just you being hypersensitive. You're ready to do something special. I just kind of conveyed that to him, and he was able to calm down a little bit and go out there and really allow his body to do the things that we conditioned it to do.
I think we got in the blocks one time and it was a false start and we had to come back. I guess that kind of worked out in my favor. I don't think my start was that great the first time around. When we set back in the blocks, I realized that, I had an opportunity in front of me. I can't have another start like that. When we got set again, I think I was just ready to run. So he popped the gun and My start was pretty good. It was decent. Looking back at the film now, I wasn't even, leading coming out of the blocks or leading going into 5 or 10 meters. I was kind of behind at that point, or even when, usually I'm a lot further out in front of the field. At that point, my confidence just kicked in, and what kicked in was what I had been working on, the prior weeks before that. That just kicked in and played right there, and I just, hit another gear and just took off from there.
He actually could have ran faster. He probably could have ran about 6:32. He comes across the line, and as he's coming across the line, he throws his arms out, and then looks like he knows where the camera is. Looks at the camera with his arms out.
I see this kid every day. I know what he's capable of doing. I know he works harder than anyone else in track and field. So to see that manifest itself, is just a burden lifted off me. Just leave us alone. He's legit.
I knew it would take something special to win. I mean, it was some pretty good guys in the field. And so I knew if I go out there and compete and come out on top of them, the time would be there. And so obviously I wanted to get the win, but breaking the world record, that was just pretty much icing on the cake.
Sky's the limit, and I don't want to put any ceiling on this young man because I think truly the sky's the limit for him.